So, Shannon, your opinion, is this the right thing or the wrong thing for Lamar to say, to admit?
It's the wrong thing, Skip. You can think that, but you don't say it out loud. You just learn from it. And that's what happened. You know, Skip, Coach Harbaugh gave them the week 17, a lot of his starters off. The the Titans basically had to go 4 weeks, and they had to win every game in order to get into the playoffs. So you're playing a red-hot team that had something to play for, and they were treating every game as if it was a playoff game. So once they got there, they knew what was at stake in order for them to continue on. You had to know, Skip, they had done something very few teams have ever done. They beat the New England Patriots at home in a playoff game. They don't lose there very often. Only a handful of times have someone gone to Foxborough, beaten that team in their building in the playoffs. And so for you to underestimate them, you do so at your own peril. And why would you ever think that? And that's the thing that I think people love so much about football, Skip. It is not a series. In a basketball or baseball game, you can lose game 1. You still got game 2, 3, 4, and 5 if necessary. You in the playoffs in football, lose a game, it's on the next year. The next day, you're cleaning out your bag. You got your locker, you got the hefty bags, and you're going home. You had a great season or good season, and it's over. So you can never underestimate anybody in the game of football because it's only one game, and especially the playoffs, Skip. Why would you think that? If you underestimate no one, respect everyone, you'll always be ready to play. And I do believe they probably look past them like, oh, they can't beat us. But you don't look at a team's record and say, if they're there, they got there for a reason, Skip. And if you look at what the Titans had to do in order to get there, it lets you know they're a damn good football team. They were going to run the football. They weren't going to take many chances. They were not going to put the ball in Ryan Tannehill's hand in order for you to beat them. You better stop Derrick Henry. You couldn't stop Derrick Henry. And once you got behind, you let them play their game. They could just run Henry, and then chewing up 5, 8, 7, 10 minutes on the clock. And it left you with minimal possession, Skip, and it forced Lamar Jackson to rush and to hurry himself and to play outside of himself. Yeah, he had a lot of yards, but Skip the turnovers, and they couldn't find their rhythm. So, no, I don't believe he should have said this out loud. You know that what you did, but you learn from it, you move on. You don't say, well, we underestimated them. Why would you do that?
On this, I completely agree with you. This was absolutely the worst thing you could have said because you made an excuse that could come back to haunt you. If you happen to run into this outfit again along the playoff trail or wherever, this is a Vrabel special. He'll use this on his bulletin board to say, oh, they just didn't take us seriously. No, that's not what happened. Lamar, you need to own this one. They kicked your butts.
They did.
And you were in a tough spot because you hadn't played football for 3 long weeks.
3 weeks.
And I'm not hindsight second-guessing. I first guessed it that week ahead right here when we were talking about should John Harbaugh play or not play his starters. And I said, you have to play them some because it's too far to the finish line of your first playoff game. And instead, they played nobody. They still won the game against the Steelers at home. And yet, it didn't get them anywhere because it just got them really rusty. They were the rusty Ravens running into a buzzsaw at home on a Saturday night. And maybe they underestimated that, oh, well, Tennessee's on a short week because they had to play at New England. And as you pointed out, they knocked off the Patriots at the Patriots. It's hard to do, but they were winning all the games they had to win. And then it goes from Sunday to only Saturday night. They have to travel again to your place. And here they came, and they punched you right in the mouth. It's 7-0. Then it's 14-0. And then here comes the big fella downhill at you. The big fella, Derrick Henry, in his previous 7 games had averaged 154 a game. It's a lot of yards. So
they went for 2-something against the Texans the last game.
He did when they had to win that game, even though Deshaun did not play in that game, but he just ran over him by himself.
Deshaun was going to tackle him anyway.
That's true. So the point was, no, you didn't underestimate them, Lamar. You have to own the fact you underperformed. You were the MVP, and you had a classically bad night. You threw 2 picks, one early. You lost a fumble. And don't forget that crucial 4th and 1 at the Tennessee 18. They had cut the lead back to 14-6.
Right.
Mid-third quarter.
Right.
4th and 1. Lamar gets that in his sleep, usually, and he got stuffed. Was it all his fault? No. But again, was he revved up and hitting on all cylinders? No, he was not that night. So he had a bad playoff game, just the way he had a bad playoff game to end his rookie year, right?
I mean, San Diego, LA Chargers.
Yeah, at home also. So he's played 2 playoff games in his life, and they weren't pretty.
Right.
So he's got that hanging over him. Do I think he's going to have a great playoff? Yeah, I do.
Right.
Because he's shown me in regular season he was just the runaway MVP is all he was.
Right.
But again, if you say we just underestimated them, you are disrespecting, you are demeaning. Right. You are
play bad.
Yeah, come on. You got to own that one, man. And again, is his pride talking right now?
Yeah, of course.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Because it hurt, man. It stung.
And Skip, I was right along with you because that happened to us. In '96, we had the division sold up. We had it sold up by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so we started, taking time off. And I remember Mike rested a lot of us the last game of the season. We were playing the Chargers when they were in San Diego. And so I didn't play. John didn't play. I don't think TD played. So here you are. You got 3 guys that's not going to play for 3 weeks. We played Jacksonville. And it's the exact same thing happened.
You can't get that out of
I can't get it out of my head because and just like they did, Skip, they had to go on a streak, get into the playoffs. They went to Buffalo, beat Buffalo. So we knew but we didn't play well. And when you don't play well, boom. But I didn't say we didn't underestimate them. We didn't play well and you got beat.
I got to know Mark Brunell at ESPN, and I respected him hugely as a player. Wasn't the tallest quarterback, lefty. But when he got cooking, he could cook, man.
They had a good team. I mean, they had Keenan McCardell, Jimmy Smith outside. They had Natron Means running the football, Skip. They could run the. And, once they got the lead, they started running Natron, and we couldn't get the ball back. The same thing that happened to them. They got the lead, and Derrick Henry started running the ball, and they couldn't get the ball back.
I will bet you remember the score.
I think it was 28-27 because we tried to onside kick it.
Yep.
And we missed it. It might have been 30-28, something like 30-28. It was something like that. We tried an onside kick that was terrible.
And what were old Sharpe's stats?
I ain't do too much.
You didn't do much?
You know why?
Should we look this up?
You know why I didn't do too much, Skip? Because I dropped the 3rd down that would have kept the change. Because I think we were up at the time. We were up 12-0.
You dropped a pass?
I dropped the pass. I dropped a 2-point conversion that would have put us up 14-0. I caught the touchdown, and then I dropped the 2-point conversion. That was a little behind me, but I should have just opened my hips and caught the ball. And then the 3rd down, I had it, and John threw it, and then I bring it in, and my knee punched it out. And I was like, and I just remember walking just like one of them effing days.
Yep. Was that your worst day ever?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was a playoff game. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get those back.
No.
Right?
No, you don't. But you know what I did, Skip? Ended up running out 12 in a row in more playoff games. I still got the record.
Really?
Ain't nobody running many consecutive playoff games.
I figured that was coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we let Lamar go here, we also have to comment quickly about a video that got posted on the beach. You take it away. Yeah, what did you see or not see in that?
Why? All you got to do is talk to Robert Edwards. He was playing beach football.
Flag football.
That the NFL set up.
At the Pro Bowl.
At the Pro Bowl.
Wasn't he a rookie?
He was a rookie.
Yeah.
And
he wrecked his knee in the sand?
In the sand.
And was never quite the same?
And Lamar ran over Sisu, or whatever they call it.
Jet ski.
Jet ski.
Yeah.
Skip, why you play? Skip, you play professional football. Let guys that do not play professional football, let them play flag and sand football. You don't jeopardize that, bro. You worth a couple of $100 million. Do you realize that, Lamar?
So in the video, he makes a nice move up and under. That's what he does. And then he starts running. And
looking back.
But it looks like he's running with a blindfold on. Like he doesn't even see the jet ski. And he runs right over the top.
Right over the top.
Looks like he's running out into the ocean.
Yes.
What are you doing? That's like more dangerous than like motorcycle riding or skydiving, right?
Man, John Harbaugh probably like heart within his throat. Man, I would call Lamar just like Skip. You remember after the Super Bowl, there was video surfaced of Pat Mahomes playing basketball.
Yeah.
Clark Hunt got on the phone.
Nope.
You should shut that down. If I'm John Harbaugh, if I'm Steve Bisciotti, who's the owner, I call Lamar and say, no, none of that.
No.
But you shouldn't, Skip, you walking around on $150 million pair of legs. $150 million. All you got to do is just suit up, play, and next year they're going to redo the deal, give you $150, $180 million. And you jeopardize it doing that?
Hey, this pandemic makes people do crazy things. We all been cooped up, and you get out on the beach and you say, I'm just going to run wild out here on the beach, and you better be careful. You might just run your career right out of bounds.
I'm walking on the beach.
Yep,
That's all I'm going to do on the beach.
You got to walk on the beach.
Come on, Lamar. Be smarter than that, bro.
Lamar's having a rough week.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.